They see consequences you don't. They predict outcomes before they unfold. They make decisions that look ruthless until you realize they were simply 10 steps ahead. This isn't intelligence you're born with. It's pattern recognition the Stoics trained deliberately through 8 brutal truths most people refuse to accept. Today I'm showing you all 8. Not because they're comfortable, because they work. Lesson 1. Amor fati, love your fate. Marcus Aurelius. A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything thrown into it. The ruthless truth. Nothing that happens to you is wasted if you use it. Job loss isn't tragedy, it's redirection. Betrayal isn't trauma, it's education. Failure isn't ending, it's data. The dangerously smart person doesn't ask, why did this happen to me? They ask, what does this make possible? Last year, my largest client fired me. Brutal. Also freed me to build something I'd been delaying. Within 6 months, revenue doubled. The lesson wasn't everything happens for a reason. It was everything that happens becomes material for whoever's smart enough to use it. Lesson 2. Memento mori. Remember death. Seneca. Let us prepare our minds as if we'd come to the very end of life. The ruthless truth. You're running out of time right now. That grudge you're holding, you might die tomorrow. That dream you're delaying, death doesn't wait for perfect conditions. That person you keep meaning to call, they're mortal too. Dangerously smart people use death awareness as clarity mechanism. When you genuinely accept your mortality, trivial concerns dissolve. What remains is what actually matters. I started asking, if I died tonight, would I be satisfied with today? The answer forced changes I'd been avoiding for years. Relationships I exited. Work I stopped tolerating. Conversations I finally had. Death isn't morbid. It's the ultimate bullshit filter. Lesson 3. Via negativa. Subtract to improve. Epictetus. It's not what we add to our life that enriches it, but what we remove. The ruthless truth. Your problems come from addition, not subtraction. Most people try to improve by adding new skills, new habits, new relationships, new commitments. Dangerously smart people improve by removing toxic people, energy-draining obligations, activities that don't compound. I track time weekly. Anything that doesn't clearly contribute to 3 goals gets eliminated. Sounds harsh. Also freed 20 hours per week I'd been wasting on should-do activities. The lesson. Your competitive advantage isn't doing more. It's having the discipline to do less better. Lesson 4. Dichotomy of control. Play only your game. Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. The ruthless truth. 90% of what you worry about isn't your business. Their opinion, not your game. The outcome, not your game. The economy, the weather. Other people's choices, not your game. Your effort, your principles, your response, your game entirely. Dangerously smart people stop playing games they can't win. Someone doesn't like you, not your problem to solve. Project fails despite best effort. You played your game correctly. Last month a pitch failed. Perfect presentation. They chose someone else. Old me would have analyzed what I did wrong. New me. I controlled my preparation and delivery. I didn't control their decision. Next. Ruthless efficiency. Spend 0 energy on variables you don't control. Lesson 5. Premeditation malorum. Rehearse disaster. Seneca. He who has anticipated the coming of troubles takes away their power when they arrive. The ruthless truth. Hope isn't a strategy. Preparation is. While everyone else practices positive visualization, dangerously smart people practice negative visualization. What if this fails? What if they betray me? What if I lose everything? Not pessimism. Preparation. When disaster arrives, you've already processed it mentally. You respond while others panic. Before launching my business, I rehearsed bankruptcy. Seriously. Sat down and imagined complete failure. What would I do? How would I survive? What would I learn? When rough months hit, I'd already been there mentally. No panic, just execution of contingency plans I'd already considered. The lesson 6. Fear loses power when you stare directly at it beforehand. Lesson 6. Contemptus mundi. Contempt for externals. Epictetus. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. The ruthless truth. Needing less gives you more power than having more. The person who needs the salary can't walk away from abuse. The person who needs the relationship tolerates disrespect. The person who needs external validation is controlled by whoever withholds it. Dangerously smart people cultivate indifference to external circumstances, not because they're ascetic, but because it's strategic. I deliberately practice discomfort monthly, skip meals, take cold showers, sleep on floors. This isn't punishment, it's training. I'm proving to myself I can handle less. Result: I negotiate better because I can genuinely walk away. I maintain boundaries because I don't need their approval. I take risks because worst case isn't actually that bad. The lesson: your power is inversely proportional to your needs. Lesson 7. Sympathia. See the system. Marcus Aurelius. Meditate often on the interconnectedness of all things. The ruthless truth: individual moves don't matter, patterns do. Most people see isolated events. Dangerously smart people see systems. They notice the pattern before the pattern becomes obvious. Someone consistently arrives late with elaborate excuses. Most people focus on individual excuses. Smart person sees the pattern. This person doesn't value others' time. Decision made. Project goes slightly over budget 3 times. Most people see 3 separate issues. Smart person sees systematic underestimation. Process changed. I track patterns obsessively. 3 similar complaints from different sources. Pattern. 2 unlucky breaks with the same person. Pattern. 4 projects with similar failure points. Pattern. The lesson: first occurrence is data. Second is pattern. Third is destiny, unless you intervene. Lesson 8. Summum bonum. Virtue is sufficient. Seneca. No evil befalls the good man, whether he lives or dies. The ruthless truth: your character is the only thing that can't be taken from you. Everything else, money, status, relationships, health, is temporary. Your integrity, your principles, your character, these remain until you surrender them. Dangerously smart people build everything on this foundation. When decisions conflict with principles, principles win. Always. Not because they're saints, because they recognize character is the only permanent competitive advantage. Reputation can be destroyed. Character can only be surrendered. Last year I walked from a lucrative contract because the work required compromising a principle. Expensive decision short term. But my track record of keeping principles remains intact. That track record compounds year over year. The lesson: character is the one asset that only appreciates if you protect it. Integration. These 8 lessons work as complete operating system. Love your fate. Use everything. Remember death. Focus on what matters. Subtract. Remove before adding. Control dichotomy. Play only your game. Rehearse disaster. Prepare mentally. Need less, gain power. See patterns. Intervene early. Protect character. It's your only permanent asset. Together, they create what looks like ruthlessness. Actually, it's clarity. Last month, I fired a charming employee stealing small amounts. Colleague said, "That's harsh for such small theft." All 8 lessons said otherwise. Love fate. This reveals character. Remember death. Time wasted with thieves is time lost. Subtract. Removing problem improves system. Control dichotomy. I control my standards. Rehearse disaster. Small theft becomes large theft. Need less. I don't need their specific contribution enough to tolerate theft. See patterns. Small theft is pattern of bigger problem. Protect character. Keeping thieves damages my integrity. Decision made. Not harsh. Clear. The ancient Stoics weren't popular. They were respected. They saw what others missed. They acted when others hesitated. They seemed ruthless until you realized they were simply uncompromising about what matters. These 8 lessons will not make you liked. They'll make you dangerously effective. Love fate. Remember death. Subtract. Control your game. Rehearse disaster. Need less. See patterns. Guard character. Marcus Aurelius, while ruling Rome, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. That's the final lesson. Stop debating. Start being. Which lesson hit hardest? Comment below. Subscribe to Stoic Forge for wisdom that makes you ruthlessly effective. Share this with someone ready to stop being comfortable and start being dangerous. Remember, comfortable thinking makes you average. Ruthless clarity makes you unstoppable. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.